It's the Rock and Refuel Recruiting Roundup on Sports 360 AZ. Jason Jewell, Jordan Ham, talking all things recruiting in the state of Arizona. And Jason, have a couple in-state commits going to the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, two kids that I think were very under-recruited. First, we'll start with Williamsfield wide receiver Justice Stokes. He had offers from NAU and from Southern Utah. He picks the Lumberjacks. He's a kid, 1,000-yard receiver on that state championship Williamsfield team. And then the Lumberjacks go down to Tucson and get one of the most underrated offensive tackles in the state in Canyon Del Oro's Jonas Leader, a guy that had an offer from San Jose State. They had a coaching change, really was only left with that NAU offer, which shocks me because I think this kid's film is fantastic.
Saguaro also adds another committed athlete here in Donovan Dalton.
Yeah, so Dalton trips down to Hawaii. He had multiple other offers, including NAU and New Mexico State and a few others, but he ended up pledging to the Rainbow Warriors, and he's going to go down and play at Hawaii.
So Boise State already has a quarterback commit from the state of Arizona in Chase Cord. They add another one from a JUCO.
Yeah, so you're going to talk about Rathan Reisdorf. He's from Mesa Community College, played high school ball out here in Show Low, but he's a guy that has had a very odd path to this Division I level. First, he goes to Arizona State as a walk-on. Then he goes on his church mission, comes back and spends 2 years at Mesa Community College, where he's the leading passer in the NJCAA this last season. But a fantastic pickup for Boise State, a guy that had trip to New Mexico this past weekend and Boise State before ultimately picking the Broncos.
Now shifting gears over to the offers that we saw this past week. Micah Vanterpool picking up a couple.
Yeah, Central offensive tackle. He added 2 offers from the 1AA level, Northern Colorado and UC Davis. He's a guy that also tripped to UNLV last weekend and has visited Montana and also has an offer from New Mexico State. So he's a guy that over his senior year has really heated up.
Pinnacle quarterback Spencer Rattler already picking up a ton of offers here early in his high school career, adds another Pac-12 offer.
Yeah, arguably the top prospect in that 2019 class. The sophomore got his 9th offer. It's coming from the University of Utah.
Rashi Hodge, one of the more underrated prospects here in this class out of Mountain Pointe, picks up his first offer as well.
Yeah, and well-deserved first offer because I think this guy is just a great football player. Is it linebacker? Is it running back? Whatever it needs to be, he's just a great football player. But he got that first offer from South Dakota State.
And now as we shift over to the visits, a very busy time last week, but it's approaching the dead period. So players are trying to get their visits in. Coaches are trying to get their home visits in. We're going to start with Jax Waycaser over at Saguaro, one of the hottest recruits in the state so far.
Yeah, certainly. He took 2 visits over the last 2 weeks. He went out to Virginia and gone out to University of Utah most recently. He has 3 more visits set up before he ends up committing.
Desert Ridge's Jalen Harris, an Arizona commit, also makes a Pac-12 visit as well.
Yeah, that's probably the most intriguing of all of the visits because he's been committed to Arizona for such a long time. Father played there as well, but he went out and visited Colorado. But from what I'm hearing is he's still firmly committed to the Wildcats.
Centennial's Andrew Nichols, one of the more established players here in this state, also making a visit.
Yeah, and one of the top student athletes in the state. He took an Ivy League visit out to Columbia.
Well, that'll do it for the Rock and Refuel Recruiting Roundup. Jason Jewell, Jordan Ham, stay tuned as things continue to heat up as we get closer to signing day.